This Bovaer poison, a waste material from this goes into the milk and into the meat. So humans will also have this in their body.
There's a company called Arla, ARLA, that owns a lot of dairy farms, and they are putting this into the cows in all of their dairy farms. Again, this is why I'm only buying milk and butter, etc., either direct from farmers or getting organic, because I'm aware that this is being put into a lot of other milk and dairy products.
The best thing we could do as the public, general folks, is just to stand together, uh, make people understand that the mainstream media is lying, the politicians are lying, and that we are the news now.
Hello and welcome to my podcast. I'm Jasmine Birtles, and this is the podcast where I speak to really interesting people about what's happening at the moment. And today I'm joined by Kent Nielsen in Denmark, who's a freelance journalist who is exposing a lot of frauds and lies that are happening in his country and, frankly, across the West. Hello, Kent.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Kent, I've asked you to come on because of a report you have done on the effects of Bovaer on cows in Denmark. So can we just start off just explaining what Bovaer is and why it's being put into cattle feed and what's behind all of this?
Yeah. What's really behind all of this? That's a big question. So it all comes out of this lie about the climate situation, the man-made climate crisis, as they call it, which are built upon the lies of there being too much CO2 and methane, and thereby they have forced the Danish farmers to give this what can you call it, methane inhibitor. I think it's a chemistry drug, a chemistry poison drug that are to lower the methane outlet from these cows. So it's their burps and their farts that they want to lower. And this is just gone really bad in Denmark. Thousands of dead and sick cows. Our politicians knew about this all along, have not done anything about it. And even though it has come forward, what's going on now, especially in the news media around the world, they are not pulling the plug. They're not stopping this. And it's not only our cows and calves who are injured and killed. This Bovaer poison, a waste material from this goes into the milk and into the meat. So humans will also have this in their body. And of course, there's this thing about nature. When it comes out through the milk and the meat, it will also come out through the shit and the piss from the cows, which will be turned into manure, and that will be thrown out at our fields in Denmark. So there's also this environmental issue about it.
Good gracious. So, I was aware of Bovaer and the problems with it. As you say, it's supposedly to stop cows farting because that's such a terrible, terrible problem in the world. All to do with the, as you say, the climate change hoax. And but I hadn't thought about it going into the land as well. Of course, it makes sense that it goes into the milk and etc. Because I am not buying anything that's not organic now when it comes to cow products. But I hadn't thought about it going into the land. So this poison is actually being extended beyond the life of these cows.
Yeah, sure it is. So you could say that it goes into some kind of a circle, because some of the cows will go on grass and will be eating this poison once again. And so you could say about the vegans not eating meat or drinking milk products, they will also get some part of this waste material into their bodies. So it's just poisoning all around. It's just so stupid, built on lies, and it's just terrible. Well, it seems it is an attack on our farming community, on our food supply, and of course on every human in Denmark and around the world, because Denmark is just the first country where they have forced farmers to give this to the animals. They will do it in other countries as well. By now, it's stopped in Norway actually, but the Norwegian politicians and media were talking about not only giving it to the cows, but also giving it to goats and sheep by 2027. But now, because of the Bovaer poison scandal in Denmark, it has been stopped in Norway.
Well, it hasn't, to my knowledge, been stopped in the UK. There's a company called Arla, ARLA, that owns a lot of dairy farms, and they are putting this into the cows in all of their dairy farms. Again, this is why I'm only buying milk and butter, etc., either direct from farmers or getting organic, because I'm aware that this is being put into a lot of other milk and dairy products. So in this country, we haven't heard of cows dying because of Bovaer, but I'm guessing that they are. They're just not telling us. What would you think?
I'm sure they are covering it up. The same goes on in Norway. That's the big news from now Norway right now, that Tine, which is the biggest dairy producer uh, in Norway, have tried to cover this up with the help of the mainstream media and the help of some politicians. But I would like to correct you about England, because the research study that Arla have done on many farms in England has ended now. And I talked to Tim Taylor, a British farmer, a couple of days ago. I think it was yesterday, and he told me that because of the people in Britain and of course Wales and Ireland and Scotland have been boycotting these Bovaer products, now the big supermarkets has stopped buying this. And in that way, it has been, you could say, it has been stopped, because you can't buy these Bovaer products, and that's yeah, that's the apparently that's the way to stop it. We're trying the same in Denmark. We have created this boycott campaign on Arla to make people not buy these products, and thereby we hope that the supermarkets and Arla will be pushing our government and criminal politicians to try and end this,
Good.
because they're not doing it themselves.
That's really good news because I hadn't heard this. So it is actually happening in this country because so many of us have boycotted it, and we've boycotted it very loudly. I've been talking a lot on social media about it. They've actually stopped now, have they?
Yes, because of the consumers, not because of the farmers, not because of the politicians or the government or the farmers organizations, but because of the consumers who has been pushing back on this and don't want to be a part of it. They don't want to buy these shitty products.
Excellent. That just that makes me feel really good because
Yeah,
we're struggling with a lot in this country. So it shows that consumer power really is a power. We really can
mm,
make a difference. Are there any other
sure.
countries that have done this?
No, in Norway it seems like in Norway that they have a pretty strong free press in Norway, and they have some farmers that are really strong, standing together. About 90% of the farmers are standing together, and they have been uh, working like insane to inform the public about what's going on. And of course, they have used these terrible findings from Denmark, dead and sick cows, to show to the public in Norway what's going on, and thereby there have been what can you say, some kind of an uprising. People have been writing to the government and to the authorities, explaining that they don't want this, that they have to stop it. And because of this, the Danish Bovaer poison scandal, it has been stopped in Norway for now. So you might imagine that they will try to keep pushing this later on, or they will use the so-called mRNA vaccine, which a company is right now developing some kind of a vaccine that should do the same as Bovaer, reducing the methane outlet from the cows.
It's staggering that they are doing this, what I would describe as evil stuff. I mean, actually, genuinely poisoning our food, poisoning these poor animals. It's nothing to do with them, and then thereby poisoning us. I think it sounds to me like the consumer needs to keep alert all the time because clearly we do have the power. we just need to know about what's happening. And I wasn't aware of this mRNA jab, and they seem to want to put this into everything. So, is this something that you think is going to come into Britain as well?
I don't know about the jab if they would use that, but why not? You have a globalist puppet government like we have in Denmark. You have the same agendas being enforced upon you, even though you're not part of the EU. You're still
Mhm.
part of the United Nations, and the World
Yeah.
Economic Forum is still in control over your land. So it wouldn't surprise me if they are pushing this mRNA cow jab on your animals at some point. And I don't think they will only use it on the cows, because we have this from Norway where they want to target goats and sheep as well. So
It's just disgusting. So, in Denmark, you've actually had at least 1,000 cows killed because of Bovaer.
no, we don't know the numbers in any way, but what we do know is that the mainstream media is writing that half of the farmers report of dead and sick cows, and that's around 1,000 farmers in Denmark. And we have had from just one farmer that out of his 200 cows, 31 are injured and 10 are dead. So it's just a number we can calculate our way to, because the government are not coming out with these numbers. And when they do, they will not be legit. Just as we saw during the corona fraud, the
Mm.
government is lying about injured people and injured and killed people, and the same, of course, about our animals.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
So I'm thinking
it's not a confirmed number, 1,000 dead cows, but there should be more than 1,000 sick and dead animals in Denmark because of this, and still the government is pressing on with it.
it's unbelievable. So I'm just thinking about the UK. If, as you say, they're now actually planning, not just thinking, they're planning on putting mRNA vaccines into so-called vaccines into these cattle in Denmark, then they must be planning on doing it here in Britain. How do we find out? How do we stop it?
Well, it seems like it doesn't not well. They want to hurt and kill us, so they also have a lot of other plans. When one of their plans is falling apart, which is happening with this Bovaer poison, of course they will do something else. The best thing we could do as the public, general folks, is just to stand together, uh, make people understand that the mainstream media is lying, the politicians are lying, and that we are the news now.
Mm.
Folks like you and me, we are the news now. People should
Mm.
listen to us because we could call out the corona fraud, we can call out the climate fraud, we can call out the poisoning of cows, and we are always 1 year ahead of the mainstream media. So people should just don't believe the media anymore, and of course stand around your farmers, support your farmers all you can. Farmers love their animals, they live off their animals, they don't want to hurt their animals. So support your farmers, stand together with the farmers, and the same in Denmark, of course, and all around the world. Please stand around your farmers, protect your farmers. Without food, we don't have any chance at all to fight back.
Absolutely. And it seems to me, even though it's more expensive, if we possibly can, we should buy direct from farmers and buy organic if we can't buy direct from the farmers. I mean, this is what I'm doing more and more. And yes, it is more expensive, sometimes quite heart-stoppingly more expensive, but at least, with some of it, with dairy and meat at least. I think if we can, we need to buy from farmers. So how can we find out more about what you're doing, Kent? Do you have a website or social media that we can follow?
Yeah, we have actually two websites. So I'm part of a little organization called No Freedom, No Family, No Future. You can find us on Facebook, and our what it's called webpage is called noff.dk. And then we have created this bovaer.dk Facebook page and webpage, trying to inform people what's going on with this Bovaer nonsense. I just remembered another thing people can do to try and stop this is simply just not to vote for climate lunatics politicians who
Mhm.
are brainwashing people. So if there are any politicians speaking up about this, any politicians not climate brainwashing people, vote on them. Even though
Mm.
the whole system is controlled, we need people who are not brainwashing other people to believe these lunatic sayings about so-called man-made climate change. So that's another thing people can do.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Kent. This has been Kent Nielsen, who's a freelance journalist in Denmark, fighting for us and against the authoritarian rule. So do go and have a look at his websites, join up to his Facebook page, and sign up. Don't forget to subscribe to my podcast. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, it's easy to do. It's free. Do like this podcast. Do comment. I'm always interested in your comments, and I do have a look at them and I do reply. So do that, and have a look just below, because I will put links to Kent's links, his websites, etc. So you can find that. This has been Kent Nielsen. I'm Jasmine Birtles. Subscribe, follow, like, and I'll see you next week.